going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I'm your host, the Kroger brand talking balaclava that your mom said that we have at home. Today we are going to be discussing the end of the world as we know it kit, okay, or WROL kit or SHTF kit, and some key considerations that I have put into this kit. Before we get too far along, guys, check out the Discord channel. It is now going to be Patreon only, okay? So if you become a Patreon member, send me a direct message on Patreon and we will add you to the Discord server. We are going to try to keep that server a place where you can find buddies to train with and to game with. The reason we're keeping that invite only is so it doesn't become out of control and overpopulated. Okay, so additionally, like and subscribe. Do all the YouTube things. I think only 67% of my viewers are not subscribed. So if that is your demographic, please reminder to actually hit the subscribe button. Okay, guys, the drink for today's video is going to be water, okay, because it's going to be a long video. So sit back, get comfortable. I'm going to talk about everything that I use for the end of the world as we know it. Okay, this video is kind of motivated. I was motivated to make this video by M26 Lemon Grenade. Okay, check out his channel. He has no idea I'm giving him a shout out. He was out there talking about battle rifles and the guys that say they're going to use a battle rifle for WROL and how it's a superior cartridge and everything. He was talking about essentially, well, most of the guys that say that are out of shape and they can't run a mile. They can't carry their own body weight around the block, 5 times, much less carry a battle rifle. So that's kind of where the motivation for this video came from. I'm going to be discussing my kit for the end of the world. Okay, we're going to talk about why I carry some things and why I don't carry other things. So just sit back and enjoy the show. So we'll talk about everyone's favorite thing first. Real professional. I got notes. Okay, so everything's favorite discussion first is going to be kit. So I'm rocking a Haley Strategic DC3RX. I believe that is the nomenclature. It is 4 rifle mags, okay, a 5.56, 2 pistol mags, okay, 2 17-round pistol mags, and then a good, what's the company name? Oh, the famous knife company that everyone loves. Let's just check it out. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Benchmade, okay, a Benchmade knife. I have it in orange because I was in the Arctic for a long time, and if you drop a knife in the snow, then you'll never see it again. Okay. So a knife from Benchmade, orange, in case you drop it so you don't cut your hand trying to fish it out through the snow. And then Gerber. Additionally, I normally have an additional white light, and then a smoke grenade and a frag grenade. Okay. That's what I run in these pouches. For the smoke grenade, okay, I'll tuck this thing in behind it, and I'll bend the back of the spoon so that the smoke grenade stays in the pouch while running around. Okay, you have to have a certain amount of friction with the pad, and then for my fragmentation grenade, I'll run the spoon through the freaking retainer in here and then flap it closed. Okay, obviously it's going to be important that you don't lose accountability of your grenades. Now, right now, and it is illegal, so don't break any state or local laws, obviously, to own a fragmentation M67 fragmentation grenade. But in the end of the world as we know it, I'm sure you'll have access to all kinds of fragmentation grenades, okay? Don't break any state or local laws, but if it's the end of the world, you're going to want multiple grenades, and I'll talk about exactly how many here in a second. So yeah, that's going to be my Rifleman kit, okay? On my belt, I'm going to have 2 17-round magazines, or 19, whatever, for my Glock pistol again. Another rifle 30-round magazine. Okay, those are going to be on STAC, ESSTAC. I am rocking the Ronin 2-piece belt, T-Rex Arms dump pouch, a additional tourniquet, a T-Rex Arms blowout kit, and then a Safariland level 2 retention holster. For the end of the world as you know it, I recommend you reinstall the hood that goes on top of your Safariland, the thumb release, and then you pull out. Okay, the reason being is you're going to want more retention because you're going to be doing a lot of movement, not a lot of shooting, but you're going to be doing a lot of movement. So it's going to be imperative that you have enough retention for your handgun. And I am rocking the T-Rex Arms leg strap, okay? It's awesome. The pants are UF Pros. This is going to be seasonal, all right? And I'm rocking British 3 whatever it's called. It's like Tri-Desert or some one of y'all know in the comment section below, the 3 Desert Camo. This is going to be a seasonal or based on your area, okay? So if you're in a green environment, okay, get some freaking, I don't know, M81, woodland, some multicam, whatever your environment dictates. Make sure you have a camouflage that will actually work. And then make sure you repaint your helmet for whatever environment you're actually going to be working in. I guess we'll talk about the helmet real quick. So paint your helmet for your environment that you're going to be working in, or rock a helmet cover. You're going to want your base plate. The reason I have my base plate already on for operations is so that way I can pull my night vision out and immediately. Now, in the infantry, we are always harping on being able to do this blindfolded, but now that I'm on camera, of course, I'm fumbling it. Okay, and that way I can immediately mount my night vision from my assault pack and then go to work and do whatever I need to do as 30 minutes before hours of limited visibility or stand 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mount my night vision on my J-arm. But seeing as how it's not nighttime right now, we're going to pull off our PVS 14 and make sure that will get secured with a tie down inside your assault pack. We'll talk about that later. Other stuff that's on my helmet, okay? It's super important to have a way to positively identify each other. It's not for the U.S. flags on here are not just because they look cool. They are, as our microphone took a dive, they are not just because they look cool or whatever. It's for positive identification of your friendly elements, okay? And then ear pro. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. Ear pro is going to be one of the first things that is taken off the helmet in my experience. If y'all don't know my background, I am an infantryman, still active. I have been for 10 years. So a lot of times we don't even rock electronic ear pro. We'll have foamies because we do a lot more walking than we do fighting. Okay, so I typically keep a ton of these freaking foamies. You can get them wherever. Okay, just a bunch of foamy ear pro. I typically keep them in my assault pack and throughout my kit because there's always a buddy that needs ear pro. So yeah, if there was going to be anything taken off this helmet, it would be the ear pro. All right, let's take a pause. Drink some water. It's going to be a long format video here, guys. A lot of you guys ask why the mask. Well, it's 50% for the LARP, but being a drill sergeant, you don't want your trainees out there. Obviously, I have tattoos. That's already bad enough. You don't want your trainees and stuff out here trying to find you. You know what I'm saying? So some of y'all will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I think we talked about everything that I'm wearing. This is a ballistic helmet. I am not wearing armor. And I guess we'll talk about the armor first. So a lot of missions in the conventional military, I can't give anything, OPSEC away, obviously. But a lot of missions in the conventional army, you'll train with no body armor. The reason that is because you'll be doing like a freaking 15K movement. And then by the time you get there, if everyone had body armor, you can imagine how slow everyone would have to move in that element. And yeah, so just considerations for body armor is going to be MET-TC. Okay, if you don't know what MET-TC is, look it up. Mission, enemy time, terrain, civilians, civil considerations, stuff like that. Okay, basically everything around you is MET-TC. So body armor is going to be mission dependent and unit dependent based on how far you need to move. For me, for the end of the world, WROL, SHTF, the end of the world as we know it, body armor will be used in a defensive posture or whenever conducting a raid. Okay. Now I don't encourage you during WROL, without rule of law, to be going out actively seeking somebody to raid. No. But if for whatever reason the situation does dictate that you're going to possibly have to get in a gunfight and the probability is high, yes, you're going to unclip your freaking placard, put it on your armor, and then you'll rock full body armor. Okay. At least you'll have front and back plates and a helmet. So yeah, that is when I would rock body armor if I'm doing some sort of direct action, a raid, a movement to contact. Okay, if you don't know what a movement to contact is, that means we have dropped our assault pack or rucksack in a staging area, marked it. So a method, we mark it with either an IR chem on the backside of a tree, or we mark it with a VS-17 or some sort of shape or symbol, and we leave a grid. That way we know how to get back to our cache of assault packs or rucks. But If we're doing a direct action, just to finish out this thought on body armor, if we're doing a direct action or a raid, then that is when we will go ahead and don our body armor and get into that configuration. But if we're not doing those things, I'm going to assume the risk and take more weight on other things. And we'll talk about other things I carry. So in summary, so far we talked about my kit, UF Pro pants, the camouflage that I'm wearing, to camouflage your helmet, why I keep my rhino mount on my helmet at all times, and why, everything I'm wearing, okay? I guess we'll talk about the caliber. Caliber is a choice that I have chosen. Is going to be 5.56 and 9mm. Why? Because they are the most prevalent weapons or calibers and the most prevalent weapons in America. Okay, this is a Shadow Systems. It's going to be modeled off of a Glock 19. Okay, so I can use Glock 19 Gen 3 parts in this gun. Okay, I am rocking a 1000 lumen light from Streamlight on here and a Holosun red dot. Yeah, it's a Shadow Systems MR920. It is amber. Okay, never forget the 4 rules of firearm safety. The weapon system I'm using is a Daniel Defense. I'll just show you this weapon is clear. Okay, we're gonna always keep it amber. Amber is a loaded mag and shaper. Okay. The rifle I'm rocking, because everyone's gonna ask, is a Daniel Defense V7. Make sure our microphone is still on. Okay. Daniel Defense V7, standard flash hider, D-ball A3. D-ball A3 for the top. I've not painted it yet, as it is still relatively a new addition to my kit. So D-ball A3, that is going to have an IR illuminator and an IR laser, as well as a Viz laser. 1000 lumen light. All this is going to run off a pressure switch right here. Okay. The light I do not run off a pressure switch. I run the light manually to avoid a negligent discharge of white light. Just to briefly cover negligent discharge of white light, it is the one thing that'll get you killed when you're fighting anybody at night. If you ND your white light, you'll probably get smoked, okay? And if you don't get smoked, literally, you'll get smoked by your squad leader or your platoon sergeant, okay? SIG Romeo 5, 2 MOA dot. Romeo 5? Am I saying that right? SIG Romeo 5. Yep, SIG Romeo 5 red dot. A EOTech 3x magnifier. The gun is painted, obviously 30 round magazines, and I have changed out the Daniel Defense buttstock because the one they give you is trash, and I put this Magpul whatever buttstock on. T-Rex arms, sling, okay? This is my go to war whatever setup that I have chosen. I like the 3x magnifier. You can pull off the 3x magnifier if you need to, if you're doing, if you don't need it, or you can just toss it back on, and I really like this setup for my uses, okay? Yeah. So 5.56, the reason I choose 5.56 is because it is a very prevalent round here in the United States as of 2023. All right, quick drink break. Whether you're drinking coffee, water, beer, cheers. Okay, so moving on. So we have talked about kit. 5.56, 9mm, all the kit that I've discussed so far. Microphone check, we are good. Okay, bag. So the bag that I run is going to be the Mystery Ranch Assault 2. I hope I'm getting that name correct. The Mystery Ranch Assault 2. The reason I like this bag is because it can be condensed down to the size that you see it here, or it can be expanded up. It's got all kinds of stuff. I'll do a separate review on this bag, but it is awesome. Yeah, and you can easily camouflage it with local vegetation because of all the molly all over it, and you can attach an additional grenade pouches or whatever you need for unit specific or mission specific to the outside of this. So Mystery Ranch Assault 2. If you're running if you're doing a raid, okay, the things we talked about a minute ago, if you're doing some sort of direct action and you're going to require a breacher, another cool useful tool for this is you can run a empty, magazine tube full, chamber empty shotgun on the side. All your battle buddy has to do is unclip, and this shotgun will come straight out. You can breach whatever you need to do, gain entry, switch back to your rifle, have a lanyard, switch back to your rifle, and then you can easily stow and remove the shotgun from the Mystery Ranch Assault 2. This is a Mossberg Shockwave. It is not a short barrel shotgun. ATF, do not shoot my dog. Okay, so that is why the shotgun is on here. It is for demonstration purposes only. Make sure my phone is good. We are good. It is for demonstration purposes only if you're doing that direct action or that direct raid. And if your role is the breacher. I just wanted to show it here because I know a bunch of y'all will think that that is just the coolest thing ever, right? Because for whatever reason, guys are all about guns. I get it. Mystery Ranch Assault 2. Additionally, your water source. You can have one exposed water source right here. Is another reason. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do it with one hand, but you can have another exposed water source here so you can easily get it out. Just beware, if you don't have that thing tied down, you may lose it if you take contact, aka you start getting shot at, you start running, you don't have it tied down, you're going to lose it. So make sure you have anything exposed to the outside of the freaking bag tied down. Mystery Ranch Assault 2, it'll keep you alive for 72 hours, which is in most cases is all you're going to need for the end of the world as we know it. Because hopefully you have a place to freaking come back to during hours of limited visibility, or if you're moving under nods, come back to during the day, sleep during the day, and move at night. Because all the dummies without nods are going to be moving during the day, so you can patrol at night, sleep during the day, have 33% security at night with your fire or your squad, and then there you go. All right, just dropping knowledge bombs. Again, guys, this is just what I do. Take it with a grain of salt. This is my kit, my choices for WROL or the end of the TEOTWAWKI, whatever the freaking acronym is, right? So yeah, just things to think about. And if you think you're going to be running a battle rifle that is a 308 762 by 30 762 by 51 NATO, good luck. Because additionally, on top of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mags, 6 mags you see out here, I'm gonna have an additional 4 rifle mags in the bag and an additional freaking 2, I believe, handgun mags at all times. That way, after you finish your objective, you can just take out old mags, put fresh mags in your kit. Okay, so 15 magazines total, 10 rifle, 5 handgun. That can be changed if you're not bringing the handgun at all. Then you can bring more rifle mags and just delete the pistol completely. That is going to be mission specific. You're going to hear that a lot. Mission, enemy, time, terrain, civilian, civil consideration specific. So if you and your unit elect not to bring handguns because you need a longer range capability, that's fine. Just delete the 5 mags for the handgun and add 5 additional rifle mags. All right, so 15 mags total, 10 rifle, 5 handgun, or if you have no handgun, 15 mags for your rifle. Again, this is going to be for a 72-hour TEOTWAWKI loadout. Okay, water 5 quarts. That's going to be 2 1 quarts and 2. I recommend having 2 like Nalgene's, like individual Nalgene bottles on their own, and then you can either have a Camelback, okay, mega cringe, right? But you're going to need that water. So 2 1 quarts like these, like a Nalgene bottle, and then 3 other additional quarts of water. Now, what you'll see a lot of guys do is they'll start off a patrol with freaking additional water bottles in their pocket because they can drink that right away as they go and they're not getting into their other 72-hour supply. I'll tell a quick story without giving too much away from the military. So in an airborne unit, when you jump in, the first, you typically will wait, anywhere, you'll wait a couple days, okay, possibly before resupply. I have seen dudes trade tobacco, trade all kinds of stuff for water, because when you get black on water, man, when you run out of water, you would not believe what people would do for water. So make sure you have a ton of water. Make sure you have a way, either iodine tablets or a water filter. If you can take the weight, I highly recommend it, because water is a crucial thing, guys. So minimum 5 quarts of water, minimum. Okay, MRE, okay, or food. Okay, I recommend 3 MREs field stripped. What that means is if you're running MREs or mountain house meals will be a little bit different if you're Arctic environment. But for MREs, you're going to take the outer bag of one of the MREs, and then for the other 3, you're going to take all the key ingredients, tape it together, whatever you need, and put it on the inside of that outer MRE bag, that brown bag, and then fold it over and tape that thing closed with a quick release. That way, all your food is in one small thing, field strip thing. That way, you can just untape, open, grab one of the little bundles out, put it in your cargo pocket, tape up the bag away, and put it away. Now, as far as food goes, you can last a long time without food, but so focus on your water. But once your body runs out of energy, once you have depleted the energy that you have in your body at the initial phases of an operation, we'll say in the initial 12 to 15 hours, that's when you're going to really start to realize how much you eat or how much you ate before the end of the world or WROL situation started, whatever type of zombie apocalypse or alien invasion you think is going to happen. So, and that is when around 12 to 15 hours of active operations is when you're going to realize you're going to start needing a replenishment of energy. Not necessarily because you're going to die, but food is a morale booster. Okay, so 3 MREs field stripped for your 72-hour operation. All right, other things I carry. I carry a poncho. Poncho, everyone should know what a poncho is. And I carry 550 cord. Okay, the reason I carry a poncho and 550 cord is 1, for planning purposes, 2, to build a shelter. Okay, that's going to keep drones from seeing you from above as I hit myself in the head. It's going to keep drones from seeing you from above. And you can easily build a shelter with 550 cord or paracord if you're a weird civilian. Okay, yeah, there you go. So bring paracord and a poncho. 3 pairs of socks, okay? 3 additional pairs of socks. Make sure they're wet weatherproof. Everything in your ruck, make sure it's wet weatherproof. But 3 additional pairs of socks. Make sure you're changing them at least every 8 hours, okay? 8 to 12 hours, because if you don't take care of your feet, then you're gonna be mission incapable. So make sure 3 pairs of socks. Take the old socks and put them around your belt if they're wet, and cover them up with your wet weather top, okay? On top of poncho, obviously wet weather top. Okay, so waterproof top. Okay, or whatever you're rocking. So with your wet weather top, if you have wet socks, as you switch out socks every 8 to 12 hours, put those around your belt with your wet weather top over the top of it to keep it dry from, from the downfall of water, and then you can freaking dry those socks out through body heat on your body. Okay, moving on. Additionally, you need to have at least 1 big lighter. Okay, remember 1 is none, 2 is 1, but if you're, ounces equal pounds, so 1 big lighter. Night vision goggles. Obviously, if you don't have nods, you need to get nods, okay? These are PVS 14 White Phos Gen 2 Plus, okay? If you don't have nods, you need to get nods. I recommend Gen 2 Plus or above, White Phos, PVS 14s. Additional batteries. Make sure you have additional batteries. You want the good batteries like lithium, okay, AA's. I recommend you take all your batteries, tape them together. That way the negative and positive ends don't touch in your bag and they don't deplete battery without you knowing it. All right, so take your batteries and tape them together. That way they aren't wasted. You're going to need at least 1 additional minimum of batteries for your night vision, for your optic, and for your IR designator. The IR laser and IR designator or illuminator will deplete battery the fastest if the batteries are left in. So you're going to want at least 1 additional set of batteries for your D-ball or PEC or whatever you're running. A knife. Okay, I have 2 knives because 1 is none, 2 is 1. So Gerber and your knife. Make sure you have something to cut your MREs open, something to cut your 550 cord with. You always want to have a knife on you. What did I write here? I don't know. Oh, hand grenades. Okay, hand grenades. If it is the end of the world and now all of a sudden, in our Minecraft server that we're talking about here, only in Minecraft, right? If hand grenades are now legal, you're going to want 2 hand grenades and 2 smoke grenades, okay? Hand grenades being fragmentation, M67 fragmentation grenades, and 2 smoke grenades. Keep in mind, you do not need to tape them, all right? A hand grenade, I can't get into the specifics, but a hand grenade is very difficult. It'll have a safety clip. It'll have a pen that you have to twist and pull, and then you obviously hold the spoon. So if your grenade is in a pouch properly with the spoon of the grenade retained in the pouch, and it still has the safety clip and it still has the pin in, obviously, because it hasn't been pulled yet, you'll be fine. But when you remove that hand grenade from that pouch, the very first step as you're retrieving the hand grenade is proper grip. There's a reason. If you pull that hand grenade out all willy-nilly like this, well, if that pin was somehow pulled, which it's not going to be, but if somehow in crazy Minecraft server your pin was pulled, that spoon would fly off. That starts your 4 to 6 second timer. Then you have to obviously dish that grenade, but that is like 1 in a million. You don't need to tape your grenades in Minecraft. You just need to put them through your retainer, your spoon retainer, okay, in Minecraft, and there you go. Okay. 2 hand grenades and 2 smoke grenades. Okay, smoke grenades is going to be to conceal your element when you're overrun, or to confuse or cause confusion for the enemy. If you're in a engagement with the enemy, you can throw smoke wherever, and it'll confuse them. And because if you're shooting at somebody, and in Minecraft or in your alien invasion zombie apocalypse, and they start throwing smoke, you're either going to think they're maneuvering that way. Okay, so smoke provides obscuration. Obviously, it doesn't physically stop bullets, but it can provide concealment, and it can confuse the enemy. Mic check. Mic is good. Gloves. Okay, always have at least 1 pair of gloves. When working for extended period of time in a field environment, your hands are going to get all jacked up. Just pulling your stuff out of your bag, putting it back in, loading magazines, cutting, setting up your poncho, digging in, okay, digging a fighting position or a trench. All these things are going to jack up your hands. And when you're fighting with your rifle in Minecraft, in the alien invasion, in zombie apocalypse for TEOTWAWKI in Minecraft, your weapon, your barrel is going to get really, really hot. So you're going to want a gloved hand to be able to grab that that barrel, your handguard. If you don't have that non-firing hand glove on when fighting, you're going to really regret it. Trust me, in Minecraft. Okay. Additional equipment you're going to need. VS17 panel. Okay, you can get these on Amazon or whatever. Okay, you can order them. VS17 panel. Make sure you have at least a small square like this. If it's just literally say it's just a hurricane, and you're trying to, or say it's a freaking avalanche, not an avalanche, an earthquake, and you just have to ruck away because all the roadways are closed, and it's a grid down situation. Or the aliens have invaded, and other humans in this situation are your friends, whatever. Okay, whatever crazy situation. It's just a good way to signal. Okay, it's a good way to signal to allies your position. Okay, see what I'm saying? And you can have a combo. Maybe our combo is 6 or 5, whatever. So I flash twice, you flash 3 times. Okay, that is going to be why you need a strip of a VS17 panel. Get them on Amazon. Highly recommend. Or if you can't get a VS17, get any sort of signaling device. Okay. All right. Chem lights. Get them on Amazon. You want IR chem lights specifically. IR chem lights being the expensive ones, the infrared. The reason you want IR chem lights is that way when you have your nods on, okay, and you're moving around, the enemy hopefully doesn't have nods. They probably do, so don't assume that. But you can clearly mark objectives cleared. You can mark windows that have been cleared. French. Why would I mark a window that's been cleared? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Because what nervous, in this case, patriots, okay, most of y'all are civilians, right, with no military experience at all, and you're just doing this in Minecraft, right? What nervous people like to do is they like to shoot at windows. So maybe your SOP is every time a room is clear, you hang a chem light. That way your forward element can track as you clear through. Just things to think about in your Minecraft video game. What else? Chem lights, okay, IR, I recommend IR chem lights. That way you can mark, compass, / protractor. If you don't know how to do land navigation, you're not going to need that because it's just going to be useless to you. I highly recommend you learn how to use a compass and a protractor. There's tons of freaking resources out there. And yeah, there you go. If you don't know what a compass and a protractor is, start training. Binoculars, okay? If your role is going to be, if you're going to be a leader of your little militia in Minecraft, you're going to need binos. These are Vortex something. Crossfire HD 10 by 42. Okay, Vortex Crossfire HD 10 by 42. You're going to need some good binos because you can't shoot at what you can't identify. So if you don't know if it's actually bad guys, you can't shoot at it. And it's for in route reconnaissance as you're moving. You're going to need to decide if you're actually going to take that route. So you need to scan it and do some recon with your binoculars. Okay, so just get some small Vortex Vortex makes all kind of binoculars. Get out there and get some binos, especially if you're in a leadership role or your server in Minecraft. All right. What else? 550 cord. We already talked about that. Okay. Medical. Have tourniquets, especially accessible. I highly recommend you make an SOP that in everyone's left leg pocket they have a tourniquet. Okay. That's on top of their IFAK. So they already have their individual first aid kit on their kit. But I recommend you make it SOP. Make sure you buy them. I think Fieldcraft Survival or T-Rex Arms has a bunch of tourniquets. Okay, buy them. Yeah. So left leg pocket or establish an SOP for your additional tourniquets and make sure it is well known across your server in Minecraft of who is going to be or where you're going to have them. And I can't show it because the freaking microphone is on it. 1 second. Okay. Phone charger. If it's a grid down situation and your phone for whatever reason is still in operation, make sure you have a bunch of those portable chargers. That way you can still communicate if that is a thing. If not, you're going to need at a minimum Boafang radios or some way to communicate. Yes, it could get you killed if you're fighting some sort of organized force. Maybe you're fighting Russia, in Minecraft. I wouldn't be using Boafang because they're going to be able to triangulate your position. So if you're fighting the freaking, the Chinese army, might not want to use that. But if it's just literally a grid down situation and the whole, there's no rule of law, fine, But yeah, there you go. All right. And then boots, good boots, Solomon's is what I wear, Solomon boots. So find some sort of good boot that you recommend or that you like and just roll with it. All right, let me check my notes. So in summary, guys, we talked about the end of the world as we know it, the kit that I would recommend, 9mm 5.56. I wear a ballistic helmet, and sometimes, based on the mission, I'll wear armor or I won't. Okay? Ammo, how many mags did I tell you to bring? Do you remember? Okay, 15 magazines. That can be, make sure you have your first 7 loaded into magazines, but you can have the additional ammo. That's going to be 10 rifle and 5 handgun. If you're not bringing the handgun, 15 rifle. Yes, it's going to be heavy, but guess what? The fight will last as long as you have bullets. 5 quarts of water. I recommend you have at least 3 different water sources. So I recommend 2 Nalgene's and then 1 Camelback or large water source. That way you have redundancy. So when a bullet or shrapnel hits one, you're not completely out of luck. MRE, 3 field stripped or whatever you have. So if you're rocking cans of soup, have them condensed so you can reach in, grab a can, eat it right now. Don't have it all clustered in your bag. So have whatever. I recommend 3 MREs field strip, but if you don't have MREs, whatever food source you have, condense it so that way you can easily access it. 3, so a day worth, 24 hours worth of food. Poncho. A poncho and a wet weather top. Okay? And don't forget your 550 cord. 3 pairs of socks, a lighter, night vision goggles. Okay? I recommend PVS 14s, Gen 2 Plus, or Gen 3 White Phos. Batteries, 1 additional set of batteries for everything. Lithium. A knife, I recommend Benchmade. Hand grenades, don't break any state or local laws, but if it becomes legal or if the alien invasion is coming and they're handing out hand grenades to you, 2 hand grenades and 2 smoke grenades. Remember what I talked about with the pen? You don't need to tape it. Okay, that's all movie. Yeah, unless it's going to go in a bag. I guess would be the only exception. If it's going to go in a bag and not on a kit, fine, tape it. But gloves. Okay, at least 1 set of gloves for fighting and for working. like 1 total minimum. Okay, if you get a 17 panel or some sort of signaling panel. All right, chem lights. I recommend IR chem lights. Mic check. We are good. Compass and protractor. Get land navigation training and get familiar with military grid reference system plotting. Binos. If you're in a leadership position of some sort, you're going to need binoculars. I recommend Vortex. Get what you're going to get. Not sponsored. Nothing sponsored here. Reminder to check out the Patreon channel, guys. That is the only source of funding for the channel. The link will be in the description below. 550 cord, additional tourniquets, and medical gear in a specific SOP on your person. Maybe it's the left leg pocket, whatever. And then a phone charger if applicable, or Boa Fang radio if applicable, if you're not fighting the major Covenant army. Okay. 3 pairs of socks. I don't know if I said that. All right, guys. So again, this is just what I choose. Again, it's the shotgun. The shotgun is only going to be when used for breaching or mission specific, and I recommend the Mystery Assault 2 kit. All right, guys. In summary, get some training. Make sure you're getting your PT in. Make sure that you're actually able to utilize all the things that I listed here today. If you're not, get some training, okay? There's plenty of people out there that you can get training from, and make sure you get a freaking gym membership and start getting out there and doing your freaking weightlifting and your PT, guys. If you enjoy this content, hit the like button below, the subscribe button, the freaking comment down below what you have in your kit. I'd be very interested to know what you guys carry for your, your LARPing fantasy, alien invasion, the Covenant are coming in on their drop ships, whatever. Okay, guys? Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Discord is live for Patreon only now. So if you become a Patreon member, DM me on the Patreon. I'll add you to the Discord with a specific role and all that. Okay, guys. This concludes the video. Stay safe. Be smart. Remember, you only have one body. So act like you only have one body in this life and actually get out there and do some PT. It's going to be Trench Grenade. Signing out. Cheers. Nothing discussed in today's video should be taken as legal advice or as a substitute for legal advice. Always remember the 4 rules of firearm safety. Treat your weapon as if it is loaded at all times. Keep your finger straight off the trigger until you're ready to engage. Be aware of your target and its surroundings, and never point your weapon to anything you don't intend to destroy. The Discord server is live. Get in there, get some gaming buddies and some buddies to train with. The Patreon is live. It is the only source of funding for the channel. If you're interested in it, get over there and check out the Patreon. We could sure use your help. Thanks.